Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to the Changing Room podcast. This is episode 2 of my solo series. And thank you for being here. This is going to be kind of a separate podcast within a podcast. Obviously, we'll have my guest series still, but this will be kind of its own thing. So it's episode 2. But if you want to watch, re-listen, or catch up with any other episodes, just go to the other playlists on the YouTube or scroll through our Spotify library. So I'm here with my dog Davy. Honestly, right now, I look very much like a mob boss. Like don't mess with me. Don't mess with me or my family ever again. 'Cause this little guy, he'll snuggle you real hard. He'll probably hang here. But yeah, I just have my mom's coat on right now because this is a coat that I pretty much stole from my mom this past week because I was feeling a little bit bored with my winter wardrobe. And I thought, well, I'm doing a no-buy, which I'm going to get into in a sec. I'm doing a no-buy. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's try and do this. And I was feeling a little bored by my winter clothes. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I realized just because you're feeling bored doesn't mean like you have to shop to spice up your wardrobe, obviously. So I tried to take my own advice, and I was like, I had this like vague memory of my mom having this coat. If you're not watching on video, it has like this beautiful fur-lined hood. It's amazing. And I have to sneeze. Sorry, we're starting a little slow here. Okay, but this coat and my love for it, like I love this coat. I've worn it every day this week. It completely scratched that itch that I wanted to scratch in my head. I wanted a different silhouette to play with because I've just been wearing my kind of like regular wool coats. And I was like, I want something with like fur and fur lining. This is like faux fur. And I thought, let's check my mom's closet. And I had a vague memory of her having this. And she did. She had it in her storage. And I was like, gimme. So this coat is a great evidence of like how doing a no-buy is really good because it shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Because normally when I would have felt a little bored, a little uninspired with my clothes and feeling like, oh, well, all my coats are like this one silhouette, I would have then gone to like a thrift store. I would have probably immediately gone to a thrift store and just like gotten something. I'm trying not to do that. And what this is letting me do, it's scratching that itch. It gave me a new nice coat in my collection. It's sentimental because it's my mom's. It's warm. It's practical. And what's the last thing? Oh, and it just lets me kind of try out like, what do I feel about different silhouettes? This is what I like about it, about doing this. So I guess what I'll first talk about. So I'm going to talk about some reflections and thoughts on the 75 Heart Style Challenge that I started. And then I'm going to talk about some ins and outs for 2024 because they're kind of just like goals, thoughts, like sort of intentions for the year. I know we're already like end of January, but honestly, I was talking to my friend today and it's like, January doesn't count. I feel like we put so much pressure on it. It's just like it counts, obviously. But like if you're not feeling like, oh, your goals are all in place and you did the thing you feel like you're supposed to do, like do a mood board, write out your intentions, that's okay. Just have a mindful moment for yourself, like Davey is right here. He's the most mindful little guy. He's the best. I'm going to be so distracted with him here. But I do have a couple ins and outs I wanted to go over. And so I decided to start the 75 Heart Style Challenge. So for those of you who don't know, so one of my favorite creators, on TikTok and just an amazing like fashion trend analyst. Mandy Lee, Old Loser in Brooklyn is her @ you've probably seen her videos if you're on TikTok, if you're at all interested in fashion. She does a lot of great trend predictions, analysis, and also she really promotes like personal style and creating longevity in your wardrobe. And so I guess there was this like kind of challenge that already exists that's like the 75 hard challenge that's related to like working out. Didn't even hear of that. But she did her own twist on it. And let me see if I can find it actually. She did her own twist on it doing the 75 hard style challenge. And I thought that was so cool. And it's basically like not an easy challenge. It is 75 days. You get dressed every day for 75 days. Document your daily outfits. Do not buy anything new. Set your challenge goals and intentions. Get creative and rely on your own brain for inspiration. And I thought, I wasn't planning to do anything like that. I wasn't even planning on going on a no buy or a low buy at all. But I saw this and I was like, I feel like I need to do this. And another creator I really like on TikTok, her @ is Pretty Critical. She said very correctly that if you feel like you're resisting to a no buy, if you hear about one, it means you may need to do one. So I feel like I needed to do it because my first instinct was like, oh, I can't do it. Shopping is very emotional for me. Shopping is very sentimental for me. But I knew that I am at this point where I feel like I need to give some, I guess, like silence and stillness in my wardrobe. And that is one thing I actually put on my mood board. I found this like quote of someone describing, I think it was Sofia Coppola, and it said like, she exudes stillness and confidence. That's what I want. That's what I want to exude. Same with my wardrobe. I want to like leave it alone for a sec. Just like, okay, chill. Like, just don't bring anything in. I'm going to take some stuff out for sure. And this is just my personal preference because, I mean, quite honestly, like I have so many clothes. I have a whole collection of vintage that I'm selling periodically. I have so much storage. So many items that I need to mend and get tailored. That's another thing Mandy Lee really emphasizes. I love her videos where she like takes her shoes to the cobbler or stuff to the tailor. I think that is so, like, everyone needs a good tailor. Like if you have a favorite brand or, you know, your go-to basics brand or something, you need to have a go-to tailor. And it's not as normalized or advertised. I wonder why. Maybe because the fashion industry, specifically the fast fashion industry, it gets like benefit out of us not taking care of our clothes and ruining our clothes. And because then we have to run right back to them and buy more. Yeah. But that's just, probably not though. That's probably not it. No. So, and I don't have a tailor. I don't. I usually give it to my mom, give it to my friend to hem or something. And I'm like, it's time. I get a tailor. I have a cobbler, but I don't have a tailor. So yeah. So I think that is a big reasons I'm doing it. Also, I think for me, getting dressed every day, or at least touching base with myself and at least attempting it, is so important. Like, because I have been reflecting on this for a while now about how my work from home style, or the fact that I work from home has completely flung me into a on and off personal style identity crisis. And I'm trying to mend that, trying to fix that, trying to find the overlap. So let's go over actually some some of my personal goals for this challenge. And if you're doing that too, please comment below, because we have to all like hold on to each other here. Because it's not going to be easy. 75 days. Like I'm on day 17 of recording this. So, and I like the idea of archiving your outfits. I have been doing a TikTok video a day, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep that up every single day, but it is nice to like have that photo archive for at least 75 days, because then you can refer back to it, right? Okay. So here are my 75 Heart Style Challenge goals. First one, develop work from home outfit formulas. I need some dependable, good, repeatable, easy work from home outfit formulas. I need just like a couple variations that I can pick and choose from, because it is my everyday. It is, get up, go to work. It needs to be practical, and it needs to allow for that creativity to pop out when I feel like it, to really, speak for the outfit. But on other days, maybe it takes a back seat. Maybe the sleigh takes a back seat. And that's okay. And that is so okay. Part of this goal is also to not stop wearing PJs to work. Notice I didn't say sweats. Here's my thing with sweats, and I'm going to write a whole essay about just my reflections on the work from home aspect of this challenge, probably after I'm done with it, because I feel like it's going to, I'm going to have a lot of thoughts. But yeah, notice I didn't say sweats. I can still wear sweats. I love sweats. I don't want to wear my like gray, nasty, but comfortable, like worn out sweats every single day. No. But one of the honestly best purchases I made last year was on eBay. I found a pair of cozy, thick, comfortable, brand new Aritzia sweatpants. The brand is like, or the tag said, I forgot what it was, but it's just their like cozy fleece sweatpants. Black pair, not too baggy, warm as hell, just simple as heck. And I found them on eBay, so they were a lot cheaper. And yeah, and I wear those a lot, but just like, not maybe wear that every day, but I'll probably have days where I might wear those 2 days in a row, and that's okay. But we just style them differently. So one of the formulas I've kind of already figured out already 17 days in is like sweatpants and a cashmere sweater, right? Like something super casual, comfortable, but then also, sorry, I'm putting a blanket on Davey because he gets cold. Yeah, something casual and comfortable, but then also like, then something that kind of just hints to like luxurious, elegant, I love the style of like just kind of a, maybe it's like rich mom vibes. Honestly, to me, it's like rich, cool aunt vibes. Maybe not even rich, just like, in a rom-com, like living her best life, big baggy outfits, or like very elegant, form-fitting outfits, because I don't want to only wear baggy stuff and work from home. That's kind of like was my first instinct, but I don't want to just wear that. Like I'm wearing something quite form-fitting, like these like pants that are form-fitting, and then this intimacy me top that's like just sticks right to my body. And I would wear this for work from home 100%. So it just needs to be comfortable. It needs to be easy. It needs to not put me in a spiral every morning. That's really the biggest thing. So yeah, but no PJs. No PJs. And that's what I'm already realizing, is that getting dressed every day, even if it's the simplest thing, like even if it's like, let's just like wear a cashmere sweater. Let's just like add a necklace. It makes a difference. It gives me a little bit of that like creative dopamine that I need. It's giving me ideas for writing and content. It's giving me ideas for other things. It's and And it's just breaking up my day, because that's another just overall goal of mine this year, is get into a good routine, embrace ritual and routine, and find the serendipity in it along the way, because I think that exists, obviously. And getting dressed every day, as of right now, 17 days in, has been helping me. Because your brain needs that breakup. It needs it, you know, like, I really thought that I could be one of those girls, people, whatever, that could wear my nice pair of pajamas. And I do have a very nice pair of pajamas from J. Crew. I got them like embroidered with my initials. Like, they're very comfortable. They're very, you know, collared, you know, button down, whatever, the whole vibe. And I thought, okay, having this is so good because I can sleep in them and then roll out of bed and go right to work. And I'll still look cute. And while that may be true, that they're still cute, I still didn't feel great. And I think, for me at least, it's like you're blending those two parts of your life together that should not be blended. Like, my pajamas are for the bedroom. Or maybe for like my wind down time, like the hour before bed, if I'm like watching TV or hanging in the living room, you know, or having a sleepover. You know what I mean? Not for my office. No. So, a very simple, this is not rocket science. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel here, but it is just, that is what I've noticed. And other goals, play with jewelry and embellishing. I've already been doing this for the last year or so, but I kind of go in and out of it. I think sometimes I maybe just get overstimulated and just, I'm like, I was wearing a lot of rings, but I think I just don't wear them that much in the winter because your fingers like swell and I don't know. It's just, so I've been trying to play with necklaces. I've been trying to pull out my like vintage jewelry, been trying to wear scarves. This is like a vintage scarf that I tied around my waist today that kind of gives a vibe of like a skirt over pants vibe. Just keep embellishing. That's kind of a simple one. Next goal is also find the overlap between comfort and expression. So this is like applies to the work from home outfits, but also for going out. I mean, comfort is such a key thing for me. This will be echoed in my ins and outs as well. Like, comfort is just becoming like, there are so many options in the world these days for clothes, like everything. It's like, if you don't like wearing anything that's even a little bit uncomfortable, i.e. me, you can surely find something. So one of these examples I thought to myself was like, okay, I love a good long skirt, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to wear tights. Although I have invested in some great comfortable tights lately, so they do serve me well. But sometimes, you know, you just don't always want, they're very tight, you know. But what I can do is wear leggings. I'm actually wearing some today in lieu of tights, especially in the winter. Or even thinner ones also in like the springtime. So, you know, utilizing leggings instead of tights so I can still wear my skirts. Simple replacement, but I'm trying to find the overlap between comfort and expression. Another thing is I want to feel relaxed. That kind of goes hand in hand. Next one is repeat. You know, obviously don't be afraid of repeating. That's why I think it is nice that it's encouraged with this challenge to post. You obviously don't have to. You know, I think there's like some good conversations. There's like an article that I need to read going around right now about kind of like, are we sharing too much? Are we whatever? I think, like I said, I think like I might eventually stop sharing so much on TikTok with like my outfits, but maybe not. I really enjoy doing it. It's just like a snippet of my day. I feel like at the end of the day, it's just like a slice of it. And I like it because it's like, at first I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to be posting this outfit every day. That means it has to be like a great, like amazing, like show-stopping outfit every single day. And I thought, oh man, is that going to impact how I get dressed? And that's an important thing to ask, I think. But I chose to kind of like push back against that a little bit. I'll be like, no, I actually want to show myself and whoever's following me, if they care, you know, hey, I'm going to wear maybe this top the same week. I'm going to wear these pants 2 days in a row. I'm going to wear this coat every single day because it's working. So I kind of flipped it that way, that it's like I want to prove myself wrong, that I don't have to, you know, get dressed and get creative and try things out just on camera, if that makes sense. I want to play with colors. Today I'm wearing like little to no color, but I did add this little pearl, or no, not pearl. Rainbow beaded necklace that I think is so fun. And I remember bought it when I went on vacation, and I'm trying to like be like, I don't have to just wear these things on vacation. Low buy, kind of already covered that. Just want to shop less, want to save money, want to stop being overstimulated, create that stillness in my closet, you know, have abundance or see abundance. Get things mended, already talked about that as well. And the last thing that I will go into a little bit that is, I would say this will be probably the second hardest thing aside from not shopping. I think the second hardest thing for me with one of my goals, and it kind of aligns with kind of what Mandy talks about in her thing, but the other goal is not rely or stop relying on outside inspiration so much. Now, I'm a person, I love inspiration. I love Pinterest. I love browsing. I mean, I literally have a series on my newsletter called The Browse, and that's where I dump like things that are inspiring me, exciting me, whatever. I love pulling references. I mean, who doesn't? Like, you know, I'm so weird. I'm so crazy. I just love inspiration. Have you heard of music? I love music. Anyway, so this is not new, but I do know not everyone like relies on Pinterest inspiration or just outside inspiration as much. And I'm trying to get to that point. I feel like I rely on it too much. I think it's partially because I write about it. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the formulas people are wearing. Obviously, I'm interested in trends. But I need to pull it back a little bit because I feel like I have been getting into this bad habit, truly, in the last year or two, and it's probably been going on even longer, but I'm only now becoming kind of hyper aware of it. I've gotten into this bad habit of just like going to Pinterest, getting decision paralysis for an outfit, going to Pinterest and being like, let's copy and paste this. And it never really works out. And I'm trying to re-examine my relationship to inspiration. That's going to be an essay too. Like, I'm trying to re-examine it because it's like, okay, I don't want to just cut it out completely, but we need to just try and like not rely on it so much because it's never working. The copy and pasting is not working. Today, for example, I actually got dressed without any inspiration, partially because I was kind of in a hurry, and secondly because I kind of just like took the time really to like look around in my closet and just take a peek at it, and then I was like reminded like, oh, I have this shirt, and oh, I'll do this and do this, and it kind of came together. Are there references to other things that I have liked, pinned, whatever in this outfit? Yes. I can actually, I think probably, you know, point some things out now that I'm kind of looking at it, and you know, but it's almost like great that it came together on its own, and there was some kind of inner instinct, inner flow state that I tapped into with getting dressed, and then only afterwards I'm like, oh, that's an unconscious reference. Like this little scarf on the hip, I mean, it's just something I've done for a little while now, but I think this unconsciously was an inspiration of, I forgot which, Miriam Nasir's A Day, Tory Burch, one of their recent shows where they just have these like little skirt on the pants moment. The navy on navy is definitely a reference to some outfit maybe I've seen somewhere, but I also just like navy and navy. So, you know, it's not like those references are going to be completely gone from your, you know, outfit. The goal isn't to be like the most interesting, unique dressed person, because that's another thing I think, you know, not every outfit's going to be that like epiphany, like wow, show stopping, like I said. But at the same time, like at the same time, it needs to come from you, obviously. So I think, you know, since this is like 75 days that I'll be doing this challenge, I think I'm going to pick a week. I don't know. Doesn't matter which week, I guess, but where I really challenge myself to just not look at Pinterest at all. Not look at it for outfits at all. I'm just going to have to figure out how to really hold myself to that. But I think I could. And just plan out the outfits and just really kind of, because that's what this is about. It's like getting to know your wardrobe. And yeah, I think I just, you know, it's really exciting when your other elements can inspire you. Like things in real life can inspire you to get dressed, you know? So that's kind of what I'm grappling with as well. And another thing she says is also like cleaning out your closet, you know. But yeah, I think just like relying less on Pinterest, relying less on that. I think I'm just like, I am a visual person in a lot of ways, and I just want to like put and find all the references and images and put them in a neat little board and be like, this is it. This is the blueprint. That's what we're going to wear. But it doesn't work like that because we ebb and flow every day with our style, with everything, with our lives, how we move through the world. It's you can't write a blueprint for it. You can't write a perfect formula. I know we like the term outfit formula a lot, and it does help. But the key is like, you're going to have a lot of formulas. You're not going to have just one, you know. So, yeah, those are kind of my main goals. Overall reflections, you know, I'm feeling good. I kind of like went into it a little bit. I am anticipating the no buy part of it becoming very difficult, especially because, I mean, if you've watched any of my past episodes, I would say probably like 80% of the guests are vintage sellers, specifically vintage sellers that are in my town and are friends of mine, are people that I've shopped from, people that I've gotten inspiration from. And I have this whole little community I'm very thankful to be a part of, full of like fashion loving people who sell vintage and just love to gab about clothes and everything else. And I know that that's going to be the hardest thing, because I know that these people have such amazing pieces. And a lot of times, literally, like I go to like a rack, like my friend Leanne's or somebody else, and I'm just like, how did you know what I was looking for? So, you know, I have an event coming up, I think in February, where I'm going to be selling, but I'm going to try and figure out how to make like some content around it. Like maybe I'll do an interview where everybody shows some of their favorite pieces. You know what I mean? Because I really want to hold myself to it. I think it'll be a good test of my discipline, a good test of like a promise to myself. You know, I'm not going to beat myself up if I break it, but I'm really going to try and be intentional about it and all that. Other reflections, let me think. Yeah, I think just like getting dressed, like I said, getting dressed every day, checking in with myself has been good. And weirdly, it hasn't been, it was like, it'll get hard probably getting dressed. But yeah, I don't know. So, let's also now talk about some 2024 ins and outs. Just because hold on. Okay. So, I posted an in and out like beginning of January, end of December, I think. And then I did a newsletter post about it. So I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much, but also like, I feel like different people consume other things. But I think I'm not done yet. I've been thinking, I've been adding more to my ins and outs list. Side note, I really do think this is like a fun little thing we've started doing every year. Like, this is my ins and outs. I think it's very cute. I think it's very unserious, and that's what I freaking love about it. It's like, it can be viewed as like a very serious intention you're setting for yourself, and maybe you want others to follow too, but it can also just be super unserious. And I love that. And I think I like that it's kind of like poking fun at trend forecasts that come out. You know, the ones that are like, this blah, blah, blah is in, you know? And if we have time, I might touch on like the aesthetics conversation at the moment, but we'll see. But, so the first in, I'll go through the ins first. Okay. Appreciating without purchasing. Oh, this goes in very well since I was just talking about my no buy. Yes, appreciating without purchasing. Quite frankly, I think I am talking to myself and to anybody who's listening, watching. We don't have to own everything. I think that is a general philosophy that needs to apply to many parts of life, but we do not have to own everything. Again, kind of shifting that thing from like scarcity to abundance is so important to me this year with my closet specifically, but also other things. I think this can be applied to definitely other things. I think viewing, I think it was Pig Mommy Heather who said on one of her TikToks, I think literally like treating shopping like a museum outing, you know, sometimes. And I couldn't agree more with that. Mandy Lee also said in one of her videos, you can still go shopping if you're doing the 75 hard style challenge. And I love that because you might think like, okay, I need to avoid stores at all costs and you go cold turkey. But I think she's so right. Like, you should go, you should try things on, you should explore. This is the time to kind of get to know who you are as a shopper, who you are as a, you know, as a person purchasing clothes. So for me, appreciating without purchasing. Again, I think that ties in with my love for vintage so much because sometimes I just see something and I'm like, this is so beautiful. This is so cool. Even if it's so me, that doesn't mean I need to have it. I could take a photo of it, archive it for myself, keep a note on it, come back to it, maybe buy it after I'm done if I want. Or better yet, see if I can DIY something. See if I can consider something. I've been already browsing and appreciating without purchasing online. I haven't gone to a real store yet, to be fair, because I am scared. And yeah, so, you know, there are things in life that need to be approached with a sense of urgency, right? I'm sure a couple things come to your mind. Maybe they're work related. Maybe they're, you know, health related. There are several things that need to be approached with a sense of urgency. Shopping is not one of them. And we do view them because it's like, think about like the sense of urgency that is injected into so much of our shopping experiences. Sale now, 10-day only sale, new drop, only for, you know, and it gets overwhelming. So one of the things I do need to do for myself is maybe unsubscribe from a lot of online shopping sites, unfortunately. And not unfortunately, I don't want to be signed up for them anyway, to be honest. I said online shopping sites. I didn't say fast fashion because, yeah. Because, you know, and plus they do that these days. This is just a unrelated rant, but it's just like, we got to like put our phone number into everything now. Come on. Okay, so yeah. Shopping doesn't have to have a sense of urgency. It doesn't. It can sometimes. Sometimes you just feel very passionate about something. Yeah. One side note about the no buy and one last note about the no buy and the appreciating without purchasing. There is an exception that I am giving myself for this challenge. Wedding stuff. Because I am on a mad search online, piecing together things. If I find something, and it really just speaks to me, we'll get it. And maybe that'll be a separate episode, definitely a separate post on the newsletter. But that is going to be a whole nother thing about being like intentional about finding a wedding outfit. That's going to be a whole nother thing. Okay, another in for 2024, mixing silver and gold jewelry, which I think I'm actually not doing today, but I don't know, I feel like, I don't know why that was always like a rule or something. I don't know. I think just like I made up this rule for myself that if you just have to like create good balance. So like if you're mixing, like if the majority of your jewelry is silver, only include like a couple gold pieces. If the majority is gold, only a couple silver. You know, that's a good rule. Maybe you create a different rule that creates that balance, or maybe it's like an even amount. Maybe like you have 3 silver rings, 3 gold rings. I don't know. Just like create that balance. But I don't even know how it would look unbalanced now that I think of it. You can just wear silver and gold. I'm allowing it. I'm allowing it. Oh, okay. Here's another one that I didn't expand upon actually on my newsletter, but theme parties. We need to have more theme parties. And I think there's already a decent amount of them. Like, I don't know, depending on where you live, depending on what events are happening. But I think if you're someone who likes to host parties, likes to host events, give it a theme. Give it a theme. It can be loose. It can be hyper specific. And not all the time, but just like throw a theme party in there. I think having theme parties in our lives is so important. It just like bursts our creativity. I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, how like theme parties, I've had a couple. And I think we just need to, I listened to this podcast episode a little while ago about, it's like a history of fashion podcast and kind of about the history of fancy dress. So like masquerade balls, you know, it's a really fascinating episode. I'll try and link it below. And how like we got to bring back fancy dress, because I think it like allows us to kind of really explode with creativity in a way that maybe we can't do on our day-to-day life. It gives us a chance to kind of mess around what's in our closet. Masquerade parties, I think, can help like with expressing our personal style and let us like kind of look out of the box. And with that kind of like, I talked about this a little bit when I mentioned or I chatted about Eclectic Grandpa last episode. How all these aesthetics, because right now, what's the news aesthetic? Who can say it? Who can guess it? Mob wife, right? And like, it's a theme. It's a theme, right? Isn't that a great theme? Like, you have a party, everyone come as like your favorite mob wife from a TV show or a movie, or just in general. Or so fun, right? Right? Because it has all these elements tied to pop culture, and it's like, you know, you right away think of a formula in your head, but you can make it your own a little bit, or you can completely just transform yourself into one of the Sopranos. You know, you can do whatever. I remember years ago, there's like a New Year's party that was like Jersey Shore themed, and my friend and I almost went. And I honestly feel bad that we didn't go. Maybe it wasn't a New Year's party, but it was just a party. Someone in Cleveland had it. If you're listening, you probably know who you are. But that was a killer freaking theme. I didn't go, but my friend and I since then were talking like, we got to do that. Cause like, isn't that cool, right? Y'all, do you think before you know it, freaking Snooki Jersey Shore core is going to be back is going to be the next aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's like so unserious at this point. It's so silly. It's so goofy. It's like, what are we even saying anymore? Oh my God, there's such a funny TikTok of this girl that's like, Eclectic Grandpa is out and Mario Luigi core is in. That's not even one of them, but she was just like like one of them, she said, I saw one of the new videos today, it was like, it's like old school hot dog is in. And like, I don't know, just like all these like weird combinations. Also, while I'm thinking about this, my dear online friend, Ava Williams, wrote an incredible essay on Substack called Personal Style Mad Libs or something like that, or Aesthetics Mad Libs. She writes about this whole thing. Basically, this weird thing happened where the eclectic grandpa thing blew up, and then her sister, Chloe, who's also an incredible writer, she I don't know, she was like an image of her sister was like used in an example of the eclectic grandpa, and it like just went viral, and a bunch of people were like, this is stupid, this is blah blah blah, and like people were like projecting all these things, and it's like, okay, this is just a person getting dressed. Both of their styles, both of those sisters are incredible people, so go follow them. But they amazing essay, really talks about, and she like mentions in her essay kind of how like, you know, a lot of these outfits, like the mob wife, the eclectic grandma, you can really kind of take those formulas, those inspirations, and kind of turn them, you know, we've probably seen them done in one way or another for like photo shoots or editorials, because they're very like, yeah, these hyper specific but easily referenceable, that's not a word, easily referenced aesthetic. Just for funsies, since we're on the topic, sorry, I did want to talk about the mob wife aesthetic, but I kind of just like flowing with it through my ins and outs. But this ties in with like the theme party. So what is it? Mob wife aesthetic. Let's see what comes up in Pinterest, just for funsies. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, the fur coat, like I really didn't wear this on purpose. Like I swear I just have been wearing this coat and it's cold in here. Yeah, it's just like very like, you know, dark vibes, like edgy, obviously lots of furs, very cool girl. And people are saying like, oh, this is in response to like the clean girl aesthetic. That's like very casual, or, you know, I almost wonder actually, and this is just me pulling out of my, oh my God, someone made a playlist. Mafia wife, mob boss, mob wife vibes, mob wife music, mob wife songs. What do we got here? Born to Die, Lana Del Rey. Okay. Criminal, Fiona Apple. I see it. And Gangsta by Kalani. Okay. But do you see what I mean? It's a theme. Like you could put together a great Pinterest, send it to all your friends, and be like, 6 p.m. my place. Come dress as your favorite mob wife. And you just pass out pearls as like a party favor. But you know what I mean? Like but then the people that are like, I mean, are there people that are literally like, oh, this is my style now? That has got to be like young people, right? Like you can't actually think that that's how personal style works. But anyway, like I almost wonder if this is a response to quiet luxury. I'm not an expert on the quiet luxury conversation, but quiet luxury, it's more than an aesthetic. It's also just kind of like a cultural phenomenon of like, you know, like the kind of silent, rich vibes that's kind of more casual. Whereas mob wife aesthetic, I think, is more about like flaunting your wealth, right? Like you're wearing the furs, you're wearing the loud pearls and the jewels, and your makeup's all done up. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like bordering into tacky. And I'm not saying tacky is a bad thing. I'm just saying it as a descriptor, kind of in like kind of how culturally we respond to tacky. And it's interesting because people are like, fuck looking quiet or casual or clean. I want to look like a Criminal. So yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, look, here's like an actual mob wife. 1930, May Capone wearing a fur coat. Wow. It's a theme. It's not a personal style. It's a theme. Oh my God, this. Incredible. And, you know, it's, okay, I lost my train of thought sort of. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm saying. Like, Ava really said it best. It is Mad Lib. It's like adjective, word, description, insert word here. It's fun. It's cool. My friends and I, we have like a dinner club where we go to dinner every month. And my friend texted, well, we had to cancel because of the snowstorm in Cleveland this weekend. But like, my friend texted our group chat and was like, what if we all came in like a mob wife, glamorous vibe? I'm like, yes, just to the restaurant. And I had a whole outfit picked out, and I think we're going to go next week. And I'm like, I'm so excited. And just using my clothes, just kind of doing up. It's just like, I think, you know, you can dress for a theme party using things in your closet, borrowing things from your friends. It's just about kind of taking those pieces in your closet and just tuning them to 100. Like, how can you really make this reference fully actualized? Right? How to, you know, because usually I think for me, it's about, for my actual personal style, it's taking a reference and then kind of tuning it down, making it a bit more subtle. You know what I mean? Like today I did want to wear a scarf, which is kind of like a lot of references to the scarf around a head, obviously, like 1930s, kind of Hollywood. There's kind of like a folksy Slavic vibe there that, you know, is nostalgic for me. But I put a beanie on top of it because I was like, okay, I want it to be more practical, and I feel like it just modernizes it a little bit. So I don't know, that's just an example for today. But I will just say one thing, the mob wife aesthetic, I had a theme party for my birthday 3 years ago, and it was Davey. He's adjusting. Oh, shoot. Hi. And it was 80s opulence and excellence. That was my theme, and it was kind of inspired by this girl's TikTok series where she was just like doing a series of sharing like cool stories of like excess in celebrity excess and opulence in the 80s. And it was a very gaudy, tacky vibe. I was like, everyone just like dressed to the nines, like do whatever. And it was very fun. So yeah, the aesthetic monsoon we continue to be in, it is very interesting to me. But yeah, that's all I got really. I mean, it's just, yeah, mob wife. Another owning physical media. Owning physical media is hot. Owning physical media is cool. It's chic. Literally, like, whatever your thing is. If you love magazines, if you love Pinterest, get some magazines. Not even necessarily the newest ones. Like, go to a thrift store, go to the magazine section. Go on Etsy. People sell a lot of old magazines. For inspiration, for whatever you want it for, get the physical copies. The internet and the digital world is unpredictable. If you love movies, like if you really are a movie head, like you love movies, you love cinema, get Blu-rays. Get a Blu-ray player, or, you know, use your PlayStation 4 or whatever, and watch them that way. It's better quality, it looks way better, and now you have a physical copy. So if HBO or Netflix or Tubi or whatever the hell, if they decide to cancel your favorite movie or your favorite show, you're set. So yeah. Okay, so last thing, let's just go over some of my outs. I kind of jotted these down a little while ago, so we'll see how I feel. Out. Uncomfortable shoes. I'm done. I'm done with uncomfortable shoes. Now, I think I have, part of this is just, for example, heels. Heels have always been uncomfortable. I've always had a bad relationship with heels. But I have found variations of heels that are comfortable or comfortable enough that they do the trick. You know, and that is like the low kitten heel and the block heel. That's all I need, really. And now I know that that's what I want. And not all of them are created equal, obviously. So, you know, this doesn't mean you have to give up your heels. Well, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to listen to me. But I think just like I said, I think I mentioned this earlier, like there are so many options out there for clothes, for shoes, for accessories. We have a treasure trove at our fingertips, and you're telling me you can't find comfortable shoes? There are comfortable shoes out there. Okay? We don't have to be killing our feet. We don't have to be getting bunions. Our feet are very important. I just want to be comfortable. Another out, fast fashion hauls. I mean, obviously, I feel like hauls are kind of on their way out anyway, but fast fashion ones for sure. I barely ever see any on my feed. I think we're really starting to see a shift in influencer culture. Like, that's a whole nother discussion. Like, I think brands are definitely going to have to pivot with how they're trying to, like, promote their product. Because I really think it's just going to become, like, cringe. It's going to become, like, oh, really? You're doing a fast fashion haul? You know, it's just, like, it's not, people just don't love it. And it's going to be quality over quantity. It's almost going to be, like, here, show like one item and 5 ways to style it. Maybe we're already seeing that, I think. And the last thing, my last out. This is an interesting one because it kind of goes against this challenge that I'm doing. Thinking about your personal style too much, but I think it still works. Now, I think we are in an era right now. Like, obviously all these aesthetics are happening, but I think it's important to remember why they're happening. They're happening because people are trying to find, define, declare their personal style. Okay? It is the misunderstanding of how this aesthetic, for example, is used rather than the aesthetic itself that it's weird. Because again, if this aesthetic came out and it was like, oh, mob wife aesthetic, like this is a great theme party idea. Best, top 5 aesthetics for your theme party in 2024. But that's not how it's being marketed and that's not how it's being consumed, right? It's like top 5 ways, top 5 aesthetics to make your personal style. So personal style is definitely a buzzword. It's the buzzword. It's the context. It's the way we are framing everything. It's the way marketing and advertising are phrasing it. They're not stupid. They're not stupid. They know where the shift has come. Thankfully, partially because of some of these creators that I've mentioned today that are promoting personal style. Alison Bornstein, everybody, they're like, and people are responding to that well. So the advertising agencies, the brands are like, what do we do? What do we do? Anyway, so personal style has definitely become a buzzword. So I think we need to just be wary of that. And just remember that at the end of the day, it's just your style. It's how you get dressed. Don't think about it too much. I think we sometimes are thinking about it too much. I think the best outfits sometimes come when you're not thinking about it. I don't know how to explain this without not making any sense, but it's almost like sometimes we're kind of like, we have this idea in our head of what our personal style is. Maybe it's not even tied to an aesthetic. And we're like, okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. And this is the rules I need to follow. And this is the challenge I need to follow. And this is the blah, blah, blah. No, you got to let go. And I do think that's why I like the 75 Hard Style Challenge, because it's just kind of like simple at the end of the day. It's just like get dressed every day, adapt this to how it fits your life, and then go about, and then you know what? Go and live your life. That's my style challenge that I'm going to do alongside it. Step 1, get dressed. Step 2, go out and live your life. Now, I'm talking to myself too, because I think I sometimes just overanalyze my outfits. There's like a quote somewhere that I have somewhere that's like, don't overanalyze the process before you're done, or something like that. Like, you just got to be in it, like from like our general sense of self even, I think we're sometimes over focused on ourselves and how we express ourselves. And that causes us not to live in the moment and constantly be analyzing things and I think it hurts our self-esteem. Oh my God, who was it? Jemima Kirk, she was in Girls or whatever. There's like this thing, there's this screenshot going around of her story. It was recent, I believe, where somebody she was doing a Q&A and somebody asked her, how do you get more confident, or how do you have higher self-esteem? And she responded, honestly, I think some of y'all are thinking about yourselves too much. Iconic. Because that's just so true, just across the board. I think I think that is like, can be applied to so many other facets of our lives, like social media, how we're always focused on ourselves, how everything's very individualistic. We're not focused as much on community. But let's just like, in terms of like the personal style conversation, like, yeah, like don't be thinking about your style all the time. And I think, maybe some of us who are like style creators or stuff like that, I do tend to think about it a lot, but I need to like have those weeks or days and time periods where I'm just like, I'm just going to live, I'm just going to live. Let me live. So it's like, it's kind of this balance I'm trying to reach of like mindfulness, but also, just feeling disconnected from the analysis of it all. So yeah, I would say that is one of my outs. Not personal style. Personal style is in. Thinking about your personal style too much is out for me. I don't want to obsess over it. I want to go out and live my life, because then guess what? That life that I live every day will then reflect back on itself in how I get dressed. Which is such a simple way to say it, but I think a lot of people could use that. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do before I sign off. I did put really quickly in my stories a Q&A. And I have one Q&A. Somebody asked, how to be true to your style while be practical during the cold weather. I love this question because it's something I've been thinking about a lot, because back in the end of the summer, it was still hot, but like in September, I wrote an essay, The Practical Magic of Getting Dressed. And it was through a more like summer or like warm weather focus. And I basically wrote about how like practical dressing, like practicality just needs to be at our forefront more. And kind of like ties back to me talking about like comfortable shoes and like, it shouldn't be so much about like the presentation of our style, but like how we live in it. And that essay wasn't just about comfort necessarily. It was also just about like kind of what I just said, kind of like letting life leave an imprint on you and your life. So I would say in the winter, it's like, honestly, I think the winter and the cold weather opens up for so much cool creativity. I think it is a good time to work in themes. Maybe a rich mom on the ski slopes. Maybe, something else in that arena. I think with all the layers, the winter brings a lot of drama. So I think if you're trying to be creative while practical, I think there's a lot of ways through layering and through, coats and hats. You can really have a lot of fun with it while being practical. Boots. But let me think really quick. I was thinking about this literally the other day. But I think, at the end of the day, it's about comfort. And I think it is the season for like repetition, because, just find a good formula for yourself or a couple and just repeat them as best you can. And yeah, it kind of all depends on your style personally, but just let life leave its imprint. Don't think about it too much. And I think sometimes a magical thing happens where you just notice patterns showing up in your style without even trying. And sometimes it's those sometimes it is extreme weather that pushes you. This really does tie in with what I was just saying about kind of not thinking about your personal style enough, or not thinking about your personal style too much. And I feel like in the hot summer and in the cold winter, it's those times when I think dread getting dressed, right? It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too this, it's too that. Like it's the seasons of excess. And one, I think you can embrace that. Maybe in the summer it's like, just wearing a bathing suit top and pair of jean shorts, because why not? Maybe in the winter it's wearing like a fur hat or a balaclava and just, not being ashamed of it, because at the end of the day it's practical for the weather. So who cares? So I think it can give you a little bit of bravery. The excess of that weather, the extremity of that weather can give you a sense of confidence. But I think also it is an interesting time, these extreme weather seasons, because you can really just tune in with your body. Because at the end of the day, you're putting the clothes on your body, not on your brain. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but you know what I mean? Like you wake up, you're cold. Okay, let me put on what's warm. Okay? You go with instinct. You go with your human instinct. Don't look at Pinterest. Don't even use your brain. Don't think about what this girl is wearing, what this guy is wearing, what you're supposed to be wearing. Just focus on what is your brain sending you? What are the signals that it's sending you right now? I'm freaking cold. Literally, that's how I got dressed this morning. Like, literally, I woke up and I was like, for a second, I started to spiral, because I was like going to a nice coffee shop and I was like, I want to look cute. And it's actually the weekend, so I need to make sure to wear something really cute because I'm not going to have time next week or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Arbella, oh my gosh, shut up. I don't know if this is my undiagnosed ADHD, but I was like, shut up for a second. Put TikTok down, put Pinterest down, put your brain down. What do you want to wear? So I walked over and I was like, I just want to wear my warm gray leggings. They feel nice. The what's the word? The tactile of it feels good. I put on a gray undershirt. And then I just went over and I'm like, what's one of the warmest sweaters I have? Put that on. What is a pair of pants that fits comfortably on top of this base layer? And then I mixed and matched a little bit, ended up wearing that. And then I switched my outfit a little bit when I got home. That's another thing. Let yourself change your outfit in the middle of the day if you want to. As long as it's not stressing you out, as long as you're not like in a hurry, you can switch it. You know, maybe for first half of the day, it felt like, okay, that was my mood then, and now it changes. You know, it gives you more time to experiment. I don't think it's a bad thing. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I mean, really during any extreme weather, getting dressed, and I wrote a little thing about how to get dressed in the heat on my Substack as well. Like, just listen to your body. I don't know. Like, it's I think we sometimes don't listen to our body when we get dressed. Truly. I think that's why we're constantly like adjusting ourselves, or, you know, itchy, or just in a bad mood. And, you know, even if you do like how you look, if you don't like how you feel, you know, I know they say like you look good, you feel good. That's not always the case, I think. All right, I need to probably call it a day before I start actually saying nonsense, but I think hopefully there was a bit of good advice in that last bit. Okay. Well, thank you everyone who listened. I'm hoping to do these little solo check-ins every couple weeks, maybe more often. Hoping to have a guest episode soon. Again, if you have any questions, topics you want me to cover, I'm on TikTok way too much, so I probably see a lot of things. But if there's something interesting, an interesting conversation you're seeing that you want me to gab about, that's great. People you want me to interview, because I want to do more virtual talks, virtual interviews too. But yeah, I think that's it. Me and Davey say goodbye. Thank you so much for listening.